This is Ben Shalom and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so some bits are starting to materialise now when it comes to Joshua and Wilder. Probably 2-3 weeks ago, I think it was, I made a video, and within that video I guessed that there was a changing of the guard within Saudi Arabia, that those who were putting on the boxing in Saudi Arabia through Skill Challenge, as in Skill Challenge, led by Prince Khalid and of course Amir Abdullah, were no longer involved in boxing, hence the hiccup or the hold-up with the Joshua and Wilder fight. And as it turns out, that seems to be it. It seems that Skill Challenge are no longer on board. Again, you see, it's all government run. Okay, so that branch, that umbrella through Skill Challenge, that would come down from the government. Of course, Prince Khalid's brother, in Prince Mohammed, who of course is the Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia now as well, has quite clearly had this thing and said, you know what, I don't think that we necessarily need Skill Challenge. Let's look at it through Riyadh season, which is Turkey al-Sheikh. So, of course, when it comes to Joshua and Wilder, obviously a lot of people saying, yeah, but Eddie Hearn said it was on for December. It's definitely on for this and it's definitely on. Well, of course, when he was saying that, it was on because that's what he was being told by the Saudis. But now with the looks that Skill Challenge are no longer involved, I don't know the reason for that. I wouldn't like to guess. But now there's a new people looking after boxing. As with any change of company, any kind of change of direction, they'll look at things and decide, do they want this fight? And all original deals and offers that were before will be different now. So, of course, when Eddie Hearn says that the Joshua Wilder fight is still going to be on, but not necessarily in Saudi Arabia, it's not off the table, but they could be looking at the UAE, they could be looking at Japan, they could be looking at somewhere in America like Las Vegas, or here in the UK at Wembley Stadium. However, I mean, I wouldn't have thought Wembley Stadium would be good for a January or February fight. There's no roof on the thing, is there? Millennium Stadium, possibly. Again, Wilder, he's not going to come to the UK. He's had plenty of opportunities to do it, and he's never once done it ever since the Audley Harrison fight. So as champion, he's never once fought over it. So it's going to be interesting to see where this fight happens. I don't know what this narrative is, that because the original deal that they were having with the Saudi through Skill Challenge is no longer on the table, it doesn't mean the fight's not going to happen, or at least it shouldn't mean that, right? The fight's still going to be big. It doesn't matter where they put it. It's still going to be big. Would it be as much money? Well, I suppose it depends on where they put it on. You know, there's plenty of money out there. Japan want a huge fight night. They could take it back to the ancestral home of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Put it on in Nigeria. That would be quality. That would be class, wouldn't it? Again, that time zone, as far as UK is concerned, is not too big. A bit of a problem in America, I suppose. But there's still plenty of money out there. Now, you and I will look at it and go, well, who cares how much they're getting on? You know, just get on and fight. Ultimately, that's what's going to make or break the fight, is the finances of it. Of course it is. Doesn't matter how much money they've got. It's a case of, is it worth getting out of bed for? Because both of them will look on it as a dangerous fight. Both of them can get brutally knocked out in this fight. So they're going to want compensating for it. So I would imagine that the fight will go ahead, and I imagine it probably will be February or March. Again, depends on when the announcement for Fury and Usyk is going to be. Of course, we're still waiting for a date and a venue of that one. Well, we know it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to be part of Riyadh season, so it's probably going to be in Riyadh. But I don't know what date. They were talking about end of December, then talking about maybe it's January, maybe it's going to be February. Of course, Riyadh season finishes in March, so it has to be before the end of March, right? So I suppose it depends on when that fight's going to be. Eddie Hearn's going to have to be waiting around because he doesn't want to clash, because obviously then you've got boxing fans choosing, do I want to watch Fury versus Usyk or do I want Joshua versus Wilder? Then you're going to have that competition as to which fight is the bigger one. People will naturally say, well, undisputed Fury Usyk is the bigger one. But at the same time, Joshua Wilder, that's pretty mega itself, isn't it? And the last thing boxing fans want, because obviously both those fights can be pay-per-view no matter where they are, is to have to do 2 lots of pay-per-views within the same month. Not ideal. Anyway, I think that this fight will happen. I can't see any reason why not. I'm sure it's probably the only fight that Wilder really wants, and it's probably the only fight that Joshua really wants outside of a Fury fight. So I think the fight will happen. It's just a case of, will they take another fight in between? And will they mess it up? We've been here before, okay? And heavyweight division, one punch can and does change everything. It does, okay? So we're really going to have to wait and see. But for me, I think that Joshua Wilder, it will happen. I would probably imagine, due to their 3-fight deal with Japan, it's probably going to be there. And again, in Japan, while they have DAZN there, it's not exclusive to DAZN over there. Okay, they can choose whatever platform it's going to be on. Okay, so yeah, I think the fight's going to happen in Japan. Doesn't matter if I'm wrong. The only important thing is that the fight happens. Don't want to get out of this boxing era knowing that we never got to see Joshua versus Wilder. Whoever wins, listen, I'm Team Joshua, okay, in this one. Of course I am. And a lot of people will be Team Wilder. People can say what would happen. Wilder would spark Joshua, Joshua would spark Wilder. We don't know until that fight happens, okay? All we can do is speculate. You got a 50% chance of being right. All right, so anyway, that's my thoughts on this particular fight. I don't think people need to panic too much. We're going to get the fight. I'm very confident that we're going to get the fight. Likewise, I'm very confident we're going to get Fury Usyk. But anything can and does happen in boxing. What is today may not be tomorrow. All right, so anyway, let's wait and see. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.